Today we're going to talk about premiums and whether or not they actually matter when it comes to buying and selling gold. So when you go to buy gold, you are going to be faced with different prices for different coins. So whilst both of these coins, the 1 ounce Krugerrand here on the right and the 1 ounce Britannia here on the left, whilst they both contain one fine troy ounce of gold, they still often will have different prices. Now, maybe some dealers or second-hand sellers won't distinguish between those two. Maybe they will put things up at a similar price. Or maybe if you're buying or selling in a lot, if I was to sell this group of coins together, then there wouldn't be really a distinguish between those numbers. There would just be one price for the lot. But normally, when you go to buy coins, especially coins like this compared to coins like this, there will be a difference in premiums. So does it actually matter, first of all, and why is it important? So in theory, like we talked about, you're getting the 1 troy ounce of gold, so your gold weight of your stack, whether you buy this coin, that coin, that coin, that coin, it's the same. So the difference lies in what you're actually going to pay to acquire these coins, and that is in the premium. So on this, you're probably going to struggle to get a premium within single figures. I've seen these on dealers, huge premiums up to sort of 80% or so. And the reason being because they're a bit more rare, a bit more desirable early on in one of the sets and things like that. There's not really much about it. It's more collectors wanting to push that price up. If you look at these two Britannias, so they're both just general bullion Britannias, nothing really special about them. They both have, again, the same 1 ounce of gold. You could argue that, well, people feel more comfortable buying this one on the left because it's, first of all, newer and it's got these new security features. So in some people's eyes, it's easier for them to buy this coin than to buy this coin, and they'll feel happier holding this coin than this coin because they are more confident that it's genuine. So there are obviously a lot of tests you can do yourself, and you could also take it to your local coin shop or coin dealer or jeweler maybe, and they could verify the gold content is there. But for some people, if they're buying on the second-hand market especially, they would just rather buy this coin. So they might pay an additional premium, maybe £10, £20, $20, something like that, over this coin. Now, some coins, like I say, it's purely down to the design or the mintage, and that is what will dictate the price that you can achieve. But for the Britannias, some people, it is more down to these security features. They just feel more confident buying it. Now, if you pay a higher premium on the way in to buy this coin, you ideally do want to get a high premium on the way out when you sell it. If you go onto most dealers' websites, they have a sell to us page or sell, something along those lines. Or you could always just give them a call and ask. And let's say you have a couple of different coins. You could say, I have a 2016 Britannia and I have a 2023 Britannia. What price would you give me? And they'll probably quote the same price. I don't imagine they will give a different price between those two coins. Some dealers, maybe they will, but it will be very marginal. And again, with the Krugerrand, a lot of dealers, especially the big main dealers that we have in the UK, they're going to give you about the same price for a Krugerrand to a Britannia. Some will offer a small premium more for things like the Queen's Beast. There is a few dealers that have these listed, but not many. And like I say, the ones that do tend to have them at a very, very high premium. So it is difficult to come across these coins, and often if people are seeing that, they think, well, my coin must be worth much more than spot. So when the dealer offers spot, it's almost offensive because they can see what price they are actually asking for the coin to a new buyer. The problem though, the dealers have to sit on this. It's a bit of a risk. The gold price could go down and maybe people won't pay these premiums, maybe have to sit on it for months. So it depends ultimately on a few factors. But most dealers will just give you the same for either of these coins. Maybe a slight tickle more, but we're talking less than 1%. And it may be a case that if you've got a large quantity of out of area coins, so let's say for example, my most local coin shop, he loves sovereigns and Britannias and Krugerrands. Anything else though is sort of all in the same boat, not really bothered. If it's a buffalo or an eagle or maples, kangaroos, he knows that people are just a little bit less keen, his typical buyers are just a little bit less keen to get those coins, and he just knows it would be an easy sell with a Krugerrand or Britannia. So for him, he might give a little bit of a different price, but again, it's not going to be much, and he's possibly just going to be, more reluctant to take the coins. Now, if you're going on the second-hand market, excuse me, if you're going on the second-hand market, then you obviously can choose to sell at different prices, and other buyers are perhaps going to be more willing to pay higher premiums to collect certain coins, because otherwise they've got to go to the dealer and pay these giant premiums. So something like this, if you can beat the dealer's price and it's something that not many people have got available, then you have got a bit of pricing power there. When it comes to proof coins, I've not actually tried to sell a proof coin to my local dealer, but when I had some, they weren't sort of graded proof coins, but they were Royal Mint proof coins. When I offered them to a couple of dealers in the past, they were not really very impressive offers, to be honest, and I didn't end up selling them to the dealers. They would really just offer spot, to be honest. It wasn't much more at all, even though they were marking them up by sort of 20-30% over spot to sell. So there is just risk with these. You're waiting for a collector to come along. So for that reason, if you're going to be buying and selling to dealers, I'd say proof coins are probably the worst thing to go for. And if you are going to be focusing on selling to dealers, it doesn't really matter whether you're buying, these Britannias or these Britannias, because they can test, they know they're genuine, and therefore they're not going to be really worth paying the higher premiums for coins like this. So if you're buying and selling to dealers, if that is your exit and that's what you're going to do, then it realistically doesn't matter too much. You would be better off just buying the lowest premium coins. If you are more of a collector, then it's a bit of a different ball game, because you're buying and you're getting the enjoyment of a coin, the enjoyment of a series for that period of time of ownership. And so if that's your sort of goal there, if that's what you're really buying for, then ultimately you need to buy the coins that's going to excite you and aid your collecting journey, really. So if you're one of those people, then yeah, you're going to be paying these premiums. It would be probably a good thing to get involved with the second-hand market and sort of find people and buyers who might take these coins at some premium on the way out. But if you're going to be selling to a dealer, that's going to be pretty painful, I would imagine. So ultimately, if your exit is something that you think you could put a bit of time into and perhaps explore the second-hand market, build up some feedback somewhere and some sort of online presence perhaps, then I don't see the issue in buying slightly higher premium coins that you might be able to get some of the premium back. But remember, if you're selling and there's dealers selling, an established dealer that's been around for 50 years is going to be more attractive for most people to buy from rather than you, who's just popped up on the internet with a random username. So worth considering. And in terms of premiums, like I say, that is my thoughts there. Let me know if I've missed anything. I'll talk to you in the comments.